welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with a further 5 family meal ideas, and this week I've actually added in the price per head or proportion, and hopefully that way you can judge for your own family size whether that's economical for you, because obviously we're a family of 7, so our price is going to differ for the full dish, and you can make that judgment. And a couple of people have suggested it would be a really good idea, so if you do enjoy that feature, let me know and I'll keep it a regular thing for you. But anyway, I'm going to get cracking and show you what we enjoyed this week. So first up for the week, I purchased a large ham at gammon joint, and it was £7.50 as part of a butcher's selection pack, and I find that a really cost-effective way to purchase my meat. Then in a large saucepan, I'm just going to submerge it in water for about half an hour, and all that will do is remove the saltiness if it is a smoked joint. And I'm not doing anything too fancy with it. I'm just patting it down, drying it, and removing any of the really large areas of the white visible fat. And then I'm just going to spread on some of this whole grain mustard. I absolutely love ham at Christmas, and I keep a very separate recipe that I'll only do once a year, but for this is a standard mustard on top of the ham. And then also I want to add a good drizzle of honey. This will just keep it really nice and sweet. And then I've got a can of pineapple slices. If you've got an actual pineapple, you could do it as long as you reserve some juice. And I just pour that over, making sure not to wash off all that marinade I've just popped on. And then this ham is going to go into the oven for a good 2 hours. Obviously it will vary depending on the size. Then I will take it out, and then I'm going to just skewer on my pineapple rings all around the ham. This way they will bake, but it'll also keep your meat super moist. A tiny bit of honey over the top just to give that nice little tasty finish, and I'll pop it in the oven while I get the rest of the vegetables prepared. So for the vegetables I'm serving today, I've got a bag of carrots. We'll use most of those. They were 40p from Tesco's. And my courgettes, I'll use a bag, probably half of those actually. And then these little bags were just 49p, and I'll use probably a bag and a third. So I find that's a good way of keeping the cost down. And then I've sliced up my ham, and I've kept it in the juices for what we're going to use today. The rest is for the other meals. And I've just really got my courgettes there. I'm going to saute them down in garlic and balsamic oil. And then carrots, potatoes, and then I've dished all up. So this is Alistair's and mine, and it's a really filling dinner. So we haven't ate very much for lunch, so it's a nice filling dinner. The kids will try them with the courgettes, but they can be a little picky at times. And then baby Pearl's going to join in with us as well, and she will eat with her fingers mainly, and I'll shred the ham if we need to. And so the next day then I'm going to use the rest of those vegetable ingredients, and again the ham, add a few spices, and we're going to make a lovely minestrone soup. So I've got some macaroni pieces here. You can use any pasta, some mixed beans, and a tin of chopped tomatoes, a little bit of passata in case I need it. We've got 1 brown onion, the rest of the courgette. I'll add in a few carrots, a couple of garlic cloves. We've also got yellow pepper, the rest of those little potatoes, and some leeks. I'm going to use up tomato puree as a must, a few herbs and spices as well, and a bit of chicken stock, and this makes the most filling soup. So all I do is just saute down the harder vegetables, your courgettes, the carrots and the peppers, and I've done that in a little bit of garlic. You could put your salt and pepper in now. I'm just not going to put too much because baby Pearl will be eating this also. I add in my chicken stock. I've put a good 500 mils now, but I will probably top up a little more later. We add in our tinned tomatoes. Obviously your liquid, once the vegetables break down more, you're going to have more liquid as well. So at this stage, if you want a very soupy soup, I want it quite chunky, so I'll keep it just like this for now. Give it a good stir around. I add in a good bit of tomato puree. That's going to give your real minestrone flavour. Give it a good stir around, and it's one of those really easy ones. It is a little bit of prep in the veg, but you could do that the night before and throw it all in together and leave it. We've got some new potatoes and those mixed beans being added in, and then really just mix it all through and pop it on a lid, bring it fully up to the boil, and then just let it simmer. And then I've added 3 bay leaves into this as well. I always count them because I have been guilty of not lifting them out at times, and this just gives a nice flavour as well. With the minestrone, feel free to put any vegetables in that you have lying around the house. And then about 20 minutes to half an hour before I'm going to serve it up, I add in my dried spaghetti then. This is when you will really see how much liquid you need. For me, like I said, I want it very chunky, but I'm also going to add in just my ham and a little bit of extra fluid as well. There's not much ham going into this. It is still very filling, but it gives a nice smoky flavour to the soup as well. And we're also going to be using the ham to make quesadillas to go alongside. I've got my cheese just grated up, some leftover wraps there. I'll not use all of this, but some of that ham we're going to chunk up again. Alistair's on the quesadilla duty, and it's just very simple. Little brush of olive oil, fill it with your filling, and then pop it in a relatively dry pan, and then you have nice crispy quesadillas. And this is us all plated up. The kids absolutely love eating out of mugs for some reason. That's mine. As you can see, it's not so soupy or liquid because I want it to be really filling. Alistair's, baby Pearl, she'll eat hers with her fingers mainly, and then the two youngest boys, that will get them started off. And I find if I put a massive bowl, it will put them off, so we do a small mug and then they can eat more. Dylan and Lola's, and then the little quesadillas. And the rule is you have to eat lots of soup before you can have a quesadilla. So the next day I've roasted up quite a small little chicken, and we're only going to use half of this, and I'll not be there to cook, so my husband will be doing it, and he'll make kind of a mild curry. We have got a brown onion, a red pepper, 2 carrots, I've left a punnet of mushrooms, a can of coconut milk if he chooses to use it, and some korma mix and curry powder. If you're not into blending your own powders, you could use that korma mix. It's really, really good. So hopefully I'm back to eat with the family. If not, I'll show you what I had. And so this is what was left with me, along with loaded dishes. So I'm just having it with plain rice. It's a really nice sweet curry. That was half of the chicken used, so there's enough left in that pot. I could have it with a baked potato or just even another dinner. So this worked out at just 80p per portion. So the next day I'm just going to use some phyllo pastry. I'll probably only use half of the packet, and I'm using this little dish. These are for cupcakes or muffins. What you want is something similar size as Yorkshire puddings. Spring onions, some cheese, little bit of butter, broccoli, eggs, and again that leftover ham. And if you haven't worked with phyllo pastry before, it is very thin and does tear super easy. This is already cut in half. Most of the supermarket ones are. All I'm going to do is cut it across the way once again, and all you're really going to do is create like a layered effect, so almost looking like little flowers in the base. So make sure that you do have it thick enough in the base so when you pour your mixture into it, it doesn't leak through. So I'm making kind of a take on a quiche mixture. If you have a really nice quiche mixture, you can totally do them in these. This is egg, cheese, little bit of milk, spring onion and parsley. We're adding in our ham, and again some cooked broccoli. What I tend to do is put a little bit of the ham and the broccoli into each case. That way you just have an equal amount of the mixture, but it's really, really good if you've got little fussy ones that want something in particular. I just then mix it all round to make sure that there's enough of the mixture. Bear in mind these do slightly rise once they're put into the oven, and then basically they're just going to go into the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. All you've got to do is bear in mind that the phyllo pastry is so fine it can get a little bit crisp, so do check it and cover it with foil if you need to. To go alongside, I'm going to make my kind of take on a potato salad. So I've got those little potatoes that we had from the other day. I've just parboiled them, sliced them in half. I've got some red onion, little bit of parsley and spring onion there, and I'm going to make a very heavy mix because I do also want to mix it with my salad. So I've put in some Dijon mustard, and then I'm going to use some mayonnaise. Probably I would advise to use half of this, but I'm going to use this potato mix for also mixing it through with my chicken the next day for lunch. So it will make a really nice creamy potato salad. And then you just simply combine as much of the dressing as you want into your potato mixture. This will keep for a good 3 to 5 days in the fridge. And then I'm serving it with radishes, tomato and simple rocket. The kids, to be honest, will take a small amount of the potato salad. And then the little muffins, I just keep there until they cool and then pop them out. Sometimes the little edges does break away, but really doesn't matter. And then the kids will enjoy theirs with some broccoli as well. And it's something that's really, really filling. For me, this just cost 80p for what's on my plates. And then for Friday night, our fakeaway, we're doing a kind of take on our nachos, and this is actually something I pulled out of the freezer that I bulk cooked, and it's just a simple tomato, mince and onion ragu. And yeah, we take ours a little bit plain, but the kids always eat it up. So I'm making my cheese sauce. So I've made a roux with flour, butter and a little bit of milk. Once you've got your smooth paste, then you must take it off the heat before you add in your grated cheese. I've got some mild and some red Leicester as well. And all you want to do is mix it through until you get this nice soupy cheesy mix, and it really is delicious. You could add a little bit of chili if you wanted a bit hotter. And then we've got our tortilla chips, and we're serving it with a hot dog tonight, ladling on that mince. And at this stage, if you want to add your avocado, guacamole, sour cream, whatever you want to go for, but our kids just absolutely love this cheese sauce and they have it absolutely over everything. It is indulgent, but sure, it's Friday night, and this did come in at £1.25 per portion, so we did break our £1 rule, but considering if we were to eat that out, it would be way more expensive. The kids have just went for half a hot dog and then the nachos, and yeah, everyone's just digging in. Nice easy little takeaway tonight, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Do let me know down below if you'd like to see the price per portion continued, and of course if you're new, I'd absolutely love it if you hit subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Bye.